I've never seen it.
Such a crazy dude.
Check.
He's a maniac.
Yeah.
I think that Tom Hardy and will have the he and Daniel Craig are so buff and seem to hate being buff.
Yeah,
As well as
that's
like Dave Bautista. Is his first name Dave?
Dave, yeah, I worked with him.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about Dave
I
Bautista.
did Kumail's movie Stuber as the punch-up
Okay.
writer.
Very fun.
And Dave Bautista, total mensch, super nice, really cool dude. But I will be honest, like early in the movie, yeah, he doesn't know me, right? And so they're calling me like they're going cut, and then they're going, "Hey Jared, come over here. What jokes do you have?"
So you're on set punch up.
I'm standing
Oh, wow.
in front.
That's high pressure.
Yeah, I'm standing in front of the key grips and the microphone guy
Right.
and all the cameramen.
They're
And they're
holding
like,
their babies.
What jokes do you have for Dave? And I'm like, he could say that he could say, "Hey, that's you touching my butt," and they're like, so they were better than that, I think. But like I was very nervous, and I'm like in front of everybody, and I'm talking to Dave Bautista, who is just like made of iron,
Actually comically large.
comically
Yeah,
large,
yeah.
like, and he listens to me for like 5 minutes, and then there's a pause, and he goes, "Nah, none of those." And I'm like, okay, and then I just have to like walk back to my spot behind,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
But later he used a lot of my jokes, and I was really cool.
They sat around in
working
his
with
head
him.
for like, and he does them, and that's great.
I don't blame him for not taking any of those jokes.
I mean, on the spot is tough. For a movie, the least on the spot comedy form.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like that's very true. It's interesting with like modern comedies, the on-set punch-up writer. That's a very different job than it used to be. Because
Well, it used to be poke him in the eyes.
Yeah, get some
There's the Three Stooges punch-up guy. He's like, kick him in the nuts again.
How about a slide whistle?
I always like, you know what? I don't know. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I always think about like the Addams Family writers' room. Like, what was that
that's
like?
so
Like all
funny.
sitting
On the
around,
show,
like,
yeah.
maybe he opens his head and a bunch of bats fly out.
Okay,
Who
so
the fuck were those guys? Like,
I know, if you think there's a distinct drugs in the writer's room time.
Yes.
Like, all right, is the hand still canon?
That show had a hand. That show had
The
just a
hand
hand
that just
ran
walked
and did stuff.
around, and they're still making Addams Family stuff. People like Wednesday. I did not see it.
Oh, I forgot that's a
what
thing.
if when the hippies walk in, Thing makes a peace sign, and then there's a lightning crash?
They really are all so bizarre.
That's so good.
I love it. It's going in the
Yeah.
script.
I like, Bautista. He was great in Glass Onion, which I
Yes,
watched.
he
and I
was.
really
He's
liked.
great. I think he's great in everything.
He. I think a lot about like someone called Brad Pitt a character actor, and I think it's funny when someone says character actor, they usually just mean not hot
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
and good at acting.
I mean, usually, to be a lead, you need to be hot.
like they're like
symmetrical
this
face.
guy's a
It's
real
whole thing.
character actor. Like, you sure he's just not good?
Yeah, he's just a good actor.
He's just
no,
not
no.
hot.
Character actors are I think that they're respected for their acting. They're just like you said, they're not hot.
Like Stephen Root.
right,
yeah.
Stephen Root.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, there were guys that would be called a character actor a couple years later who like led movies.
Oh,
Walter
yeah.
Matthau,
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland was
Yeah.
a leading man.
Absolutely.
Frickin' Joe Don Baker.
Well, in the 50s and 60s, character actor meant big fake Asian teeth.
What?
Like Mickey Rooney
Yeah.
was they're like, look at this
Oh,
character
yeah.
actor
Yeah.
we put in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Or like, we're making a Western that has Comanches in
Character-
it. Give me
Right.
all the Italian actors
character
you know.
actor was just blackface for
Yeah,
40
Pretty
years.
much. Pretty much.
But now it is. So people talk about like Bautista as a character actor. I'm like, I think he is actually pretty vocally pushing back against the type, right? He's talking about not wanting to be in Guardians of the Galaxy anymore
Yeah.
or in MCU anymore. And he was so good at being the one trick thing in the MCU that it seems like he's getting the short end of the stick.
I would say, well,
With that in particular, like
say-
he's not a very developed character in that.
Yeah.
He's just kind of being funny, which is what happens in comic books.
but also just being covered in green paint like for months at a time.
Yeah, I imagine you don't even know who we're
I have
talking
no
about.
idea. I don't see any of the Marvel movies, but I like that this is kind of like a fill in the blanks. I'm picking together. He's like a swamp guy, or is he swamp guy?
He's Drax the Destroyer.
He's
Which is a
he's
swamp
head
guy
to
or
toe
not?
covered
Not a
in
swamp guy.
like actual like 3-dimensional makeup. Like
Okay.
his body is
Yeah, yeah.
completely
That's pretty
done.
cool.
It looks
He's
like
an
a
alien.
nightmare.
He's
an alien.
in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Wait.
Well, you're a great guest for never seen it.
Is there a swamp? Is there a swamp guy?
There is a swamp guy called Swamp Thing, but he's in the DC universe.
You're
All right.
embarrassing
I can't
yourself
believe
now,
you
Todd.
got that
Fair
wrong.
enough. Fair enough.
Oh, don't even get me started on the guy in Werewolves at Night, Todd, and how this fits into everything.
Who is the one that I got mixed up last time between the Yoda and the? Oh man, can we roll back the tape? Do we have the tape from the last time I was on here?
We
Is that
don't
a
have the
thing?
tape from 9
Play
months ago.
the
tape,
last
play the clip.
episode.
Play the
Play
last
clip.
episode all
Can
the
we
way
get the
through.
tape? Yeah.
You
You're
do-
my precious, the ring guy.
Oh,
the ring
Gollum.
Gollum.
Andy Serkis.
Yes, I would get Gollum and Yoda mixed up a lot.
You know what I think would be a fun thing to do on a podcast is have a clip show where you play one full episode. you're like, you remember this? And then you play the full episode and you're like, that was crazy. And then
Yeah.
you end it.
That's awesome.
Why not? That's
I
an
like
easy
that.
episode.
That is an easy
And then
Well,
you,
not for the editor.
you run all of the ads from the last one and more ads in it.
Double book.
So the ad, you're like, we're gonna go to a break, and they play the break, and it comes back. You're like, all right, that was so funny. I remember that break. We're gonna go to break real quick. And you cut back to it. Andy Serkis, a guy who is called a character actor,
Yeah.
who might actually just be the greatest actor of all time.
Tremendous.
Is anyone better at acting than him? What's acting?
Well,
Wait,
why-
he was good in a Marvel movie I saw in
Black Panther?
Black Panther.
That was
Where
so
he
fun
actually
to see him
he's
as an
actually
yeah,
not
actually as an
a
actor.
CGI or like a
Yeah.
mocap guy.
That was
Andy
awesome.
Serkis will have an Oscar named after him.
Yeah, he was. Pretty
Eventually,
crazy.
when they come up with like a motion capture thing, which it's,
Yeah.
I think the reason they haven't done it yet is because he would have 70,
Yeah, nobody else.
and they're
would
just
be-
like waiting for him to retire to then
Yeah.
like give him a lifetime achievement award, and then have the category once it can be competitive.
Right. I mean, once everything is just like deep fake movies, you know, and like a movie in 2049 stars young Harrison Ford,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
then
Right.
We'll have, you know, exactly that.
It'll be just the
category.
Futurama heads in jars.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Oh man. Yeah. It'll be who's the deepest fake or the deep fakest,
Right.
Ooh,
and those
yeah.
will be two separate categories.
Best
Those
for-
would be, yeah, they do
Best
that.
performance by a deep fake.
Best performance by a Mac Mini. Best performance by a Windows
Hard
PC.
drive chips are up for yeah, like,
It's just
how
going to
much
be all the
CPU
different
you use.
computers.
And the award goes to serial number 19877.
It gets up there, it's like 1001010, and it like cuts to everyone in the audience while he's doing it. Gerard Carmichael still giving the opening monologue beforehand.
This is like a Skynet dream. This is like exactly what they
Yeah,
want.
I think, but man,
I'll watch the Oscars if they do that.
I would,
I would
too,
watch
actually.
that,
That would
too.
be interesting.
I guess I
They're just
still watch
sponsored by
them
my
right now,
health
but I don't
insurance.
like them.
yeah, I don't know if I watch them now. I didn't watch the last one, the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
That was like on a weekday, and then the next day I found out it had happened.
I don't watch any of the other ones. I feel like I don't think I've ever seen the Emmys or the Golden Globes or whatever other ones there are. I feel like I don't know
Doesn't
what
it-
channels they're on. If they're on
Doesn't
channels.
I feel a little bit when you're watching the Oscars like you are a medieval peasant and you've been told
Yes. Yeah.
by
Come
the
to the
guards.
square.
Yes,
Yeah.
come to the
Yes.
square and watch the coronation.
Yes.
It's close to like when they pick who's going to be in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except no one gets picked, but they're just everyone's dressed from fancy to insane,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Ha ha, Belfast." I'm sure that was good.
Yeah, people love Belfast.
And they appease some of the middlings by sending DVDs or login codes to them
Yes,
to watch
yeah.
them. Yeah, and then I haven't heard of it. I don't know. I feel more disconnected from them because they will come around. They'll be, they feel fake sometimes because
Yeah.
the best pictures will be something that's Belfast, so it's a European town. It's a Munich, which Munich's great, but I mean it's a Munich or a Belfast or a year or something like that, a European town. And then there's like the coming of age movie.
so many coming of ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like the white person helps minority
White person
movie.
helps minority.
Yeah.
Biopic is
Biopic,
huge.
and then it'll be the biopic will never win, but that'll win acting awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that everyone really liked that won best screenplay that you know isn't going to win best picture.
Yeah.
And then there's sort of like the good one
Yeah.
where everyone's like, this one's great, and that's what gets nominated, and everyone's mad that the Pixar movie didn't,
Yeah.
or or the movie everyone will remember from that year didn't get nominated.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
a thing.
Green Book won, and that was white
Green
person
Book.
helps black people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Green Book won in the 2020s.
Yeah.
That was like
I-
2 years ago. 3 years. I did that on this podcast like two
Yeah, you
times
did
ago.
Green Book.
that was recent.
You did Green Book for
That
the
was insane.
Oscars episode.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then everyone 20 years later is like, do you remember no one talks about
Green
the
Book.
the
or-
movie that won Best Picture? Everyone's talking about Do the Right Thing instead of the other Green Book. What was that? Driving Miss Daisy that I think won over
Yeah.
Do the Right
Yeah.
Thing. Greener Book.
Yeah.
Didn't the Queen movie win Best Picture?
The Queen's Speech. right?
No,
King's
no,
Speech.
King's Speech.
the movie about the band Queen.
Oh, yeah,
Bohemian
Freddie
Rhapsody. I
Mercury.
don't think it
Bohemian
won Best
Rhapsody.
I
Picture.
think it did win Best
It
Picture.
did,
I think
and
it
that
did.
movie is straight up not good.
That felt
Yeah.
like I was getting, like, I hate the term, gaslit by the Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels
Yeah.
like they're fucking with you. That
One-
movie was like literally like the worst kind of biopic where they're like, this is the moment when you blow it all wide open with a new sound.
It
Like they
was-
just keep
Yeah.
like
It was
saying
Even
comedy.
Mickey Rooney thought the teeth were a lot.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, that's that actor's actual teeth.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Rami Malek.
Unfortunately.
Rami Malek.
Those
Have
are
you ever
not
seen-
fake
He
teeth.
puts in smaller teeth for Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that cringy video where Rami Malek talks about things that he loves?
And
He's like, I love my mom. And then he mentions a bunch of shit that only rich actors would be into. He's like, I
Caviar
love
and-
daffodils pressed inside
Yeah.
my favorite quarto of poetry.
I would expect even Michael Shannon would ask Rami Malek to act normal. He'd be like, hey,
Stop
man,
being such a weirdo.
can you have some energy? You're too serious.
Yeah.
He is. I saw a clip of Rami Malek like courtside at a Lakers game, and it looked like he'd never seen a camera before. You ever like see a raccoon at night?
Yeah, just like
That's
doesn't
what
know
it
why
felt
it's
like,
there.
even with like the same hand movements.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't believe that thing has thumbs.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyways, vote for us for awards.
Yeah.
This I guess this has never seen it. I don't think I need to do an intro. I'll record that on my own. Jared,
Sure.
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You have what was the button of all that? Because these buff guys. That's what got us started on all of this.
Bautista,
Is
yeah.
Bautista.
Swamp Guy.
I watched Daniel Craig in Knives Out and Glass Onion, and then I watched part of a James Bond movie, and he looked like he's like a hostage in the James Bond movies. He's having such a bad time.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen some? He's good.
Well,
great.
they also made the character in the Daniel Craig movies more serious.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then it became like solemn.
Yes.
By the end, it feels like, and
Yes.
it doesn't help that he's like, I'm contractually obligated to do one more, and I hate this now.
Yeah.
Because he's good at it.
he is good.
That's
at it.
probably part of it too, though.
But then you watch it, and you're just like, is he sighing?
he's like being like punished for 20 years of Bond lore.
shaken,
But
not
it's
stirred.
nice to see him, and it's nice. And Tom Hardy's not like as but they're like huge guys, seem to enjoy being goofy and interesting. This new M. Night Shyamalan movie trailer looks awesome.
I want to see it.
I want to
What
see
is
it.
it?
The cabin at the end
Knock
of the
at the
world or
cabin
something
door.
like that.
Knock at the
I'm
cabin
excited
door.
to watch the trailer
It looks.
now.
Don't. It's
Oh,
watch
perfect.
watch
Go.
30
Into it.
seconds
Trailer,
of the trailer.
ruins some stuff.
Oh,
Just-
then I won't do it. Yeah, I usually don't do trailers because of that. It's
you
kind
could-
of fun.
I try to avoid too, but if
Yeah.
I'm in a movie theater, I see trailers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually watched the beginning of the trailer on Twitter and then stopped 30 or 40 seconds in because I'm like, this is when this trailer should have been over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be like a really good Bautista
It looks
movie.
great.
Bautista.
Bautista's in it too.
Hey, this is going to be controversial and it may hurt my career, but Bautista greater than The Rock 100 times.
Oh, 100%
Bautista
wow. Agree with you,
cooler
agree
than
with
The
you,
You're on
Rock.
the right
you.
show for that. He
Bautista
loves ripping on The Rock.
better actor than
Already
The
has
Rock.
a better acting resume than The Rock.
Yeah.
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 Brought more
But-
to a character that was a punchline than The Rock has brought to being in the jungle 12 times.
But does he have an energy drink?
Probably.
Tight.
I hope
Honestly,
so.
he's probably above it.
Yeah, you're right. He's an actor.
He's a
an
serious
energy
stunt
But
man.
he's,
drink.
you know,
Yeah.
he was a WWF guy, right?
I did not know that.
So he has a similar trajectory to The Rock, and he has, in interviews, pushed back against. He's like, no offense.
I don't want to be
Because
that.
people bring up like the Rock, obviously, and he's like, well, I'm trying to do something else. I'm trying to be like a serious actor who is taken completely seriously. He's clearly doing what he wants to do as a brand, and I respect that. But I'm trying to do something completely different.
That's awesome.
And he is in this trailer. He looks like he
Don't
could
spoil
become
it,
like
don't spoil it.
terrifying.
Yeah, he seems.
Oh, I'm so excited for this
He
now.
seems scary.
He plays Dwayne the Rock Johnson in the movie.
Even
Yeah.
better. Even better.
And then John Cena's found like this happy middle where he just seems like he's having a good fucking time doing everything.
Yeah. I don't like John Cena as much because I feel like John Cena is like really wants you to like him, and I'm like, nah. But Dave Bautista don't give a shit.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on at this point. It feels like The Rock is selling me something every time he moves.
Even just him being existing is selling something.
Like-
I
It
will
is.
say I only like really muscly actors, and I don't like any other.
That's
I
what
don't-
character means now.
Yeah.
Yep. How big are your muscles?
Yeah.
I love going to a movie and not seeing the trailer ahead of time. I always am trying to recreate the experience of seeing, I think it was in high school, it might have been early college when A History of Violence came out.
Yeah.
Going to that movie and not knowing anything going into it was like one of the most thrilling experiences I've ever had in my life. Like,
Yeah.
it changes movies like 3 times during the movie. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, You're just like it's like being on a roller coaster. It's like a thrill ride.
I
and
need
we
to
can
say,
have that
I'm gonna put it
anytime you
out
watch
there.
a movie.
Lisa Curry, who did this podcast, said Josh Olson, the writer of A History of Violence, wants to do this podcast. So I'm putting
please.
Oh,
this
great.
in audio right now. I need to reach
I love
out
their
to you
show.
and have them reconnect.
I love movies that made me.
Yeah, so I think that because I agree. I knew nothing about that movie when I saw it.
So
Actually, I
fun to
think you
watch.
told me to watch it.
Really?
And he's like a longtime pro screenwriter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his never seen it screenplay will be awesome.
Well, the problem with having real screenwriters on is they always send me final draft documents I can't afford to open.
Yeah.
They're always like, all right, just open this and print it. And I'm like, all right, here, off to Pirate Bay to try and unlock your document. Can you guys send me the Celtics trial file format?
Do you remember the first time I did this? I sent you like a 24-page script.
Yeah.
That was a learning lesson. That was like
For Dunkirk.
yeah.
I
I
know,
had to do some trimming.
I've created a 7-page today. Is that
That's
on
more than
average?
I asked. That's more than I asked.
Okay.
I've had 1 to 28.
Okay. Wow, 28. Wow. And you read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That one was nice because I didn't have to provide any other content.
Yeah, sure.
We had literally had a commercial break where we went to that Whopper commercial.
Yeah.
I love that Whopper song. It's the most annoying commercial, but God, I love it every
What
time
is
it comes
this?
on.
There's like a very popular Whopper commercial right now that's just like Whopper, Whopper, Whopper Jr. Eat the chicken. It's like it's where it knows it's
It
annoying.
sounds great.
It's wonderful.
And it's just
Can we
showing
play
you
it? Can we
Whopper's
get the-
really
can we
big.
play
I
the tape?
can't.
Play the
Can we play
Whopper
tape?
commercial?
Only the
Play it?
NFL can afford it.
What is that?
But
That's so weird.
Unfortunately for them, people get injured in the NFL, so they're like
There's
carting
a
a man off. There's like a clip they're carting a man off a field, and then all of a sudden it's just like
Whopper,
well,
Whopper,
yeah,
Whopper. Dude, it's so good.
absolutely.
It's so good.
Like-
It's like when the Mariner Moose, like, there's a great old clip. It might not even be on YouTube anymore. The Mariner Moose, their like mascot was doing a thing where he's on rollerblades, doing like jet skiing on rollerblades behind like an ATV during like the 7th inning stretch, and like he misses a turn and goes like right into the wall and like gruesomely breaks his ankle, like foot sideways, like
And
football injury
and the
style.
scary part is it's a big giant foot. It's like a
It's
cartoon
huge.
shoe that he has on that's
Yeah.
facing a horrible direction.
And they're trying to like, and he's getting dragged around by the ATV, and it's just this big Mariner Moose giant smile on the thing's face while this guy's like wallowing. It's horrible, but it's so funny.
Is it on YouTube?
It was. I don't know if it still is.
I will watch. I will watch that person's suffering.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Speaking of the Whopper, we're gonna go to break. Can you give me a time code, Aristotle? 24:15. All right, everybody, we're back. So let's get to the script for today. So, Jared, I would say saying that you consume nerd culture, wide brush, is a correct thing,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You've done Solo on here before, but you love Star Wars. Did you see Solo ever?
So I'm actually not a big Star
Not
Wars
Star
guy.
Wars guy.
I'm a Star Trek guy.
Okay.
I think
Oh.
Star Wars is a lot of time for kids and it's silly.
Mhm.
That said, Andor, which came out last year, was amazing.
I've not seen Andor, but I've heard Andor described as adult Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like
It
it's like
is.
made to like almost
That's
like
cool.
they want to get back the fans who are jaded by the childishness of it.
That's cool.
Star Wars is for kids. It's for kids, and then people get mad when they're like, "Why was that just goofy thing bopping around?"
Yeah.
Like, so a 9-year-old buys it. What are you talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars is for kids, whereas Star Trek is very silly entertainment for adults.
Sure,
Yeah.
but you like a lot of like comic books. You're in comic books.
Yeah, I see every comic book movie.
So Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I've read all the Harry
Read all the
Potter
Harry
novels.
Potters.
Yep.
And you've seen the Harry Potter.
I have not read the Fantastic Beasts book. I have never read that.
That's Harry Potter
Yeah.
lore? I didn't know
That is an extra Harry Potter book.
That's exciting.
You didn't know you don't know about the Fantastic Beasts franchise?
I did not. Is that the How to Train
So
Your Dragon
I know,
thing too? The
No.
But similar. Okay. never
Words,
mind. Yeah.
similar
I thought that was-
cadence
I thought
to
those
the
were
word.
a
Todd, you just make a
series.
connection when stuff sounds similar if you didn't know the language. You're like, but How to Train Dragon is Fantastic Beast
I
fine?
thought that was like a sequel to the Fantastic Beasts and how to get
Raising
how to kill
Cane's
them.
Chicken is similar as well if you say it
Yes.
like that.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
mean, in a way. So Fantastic Beasts, like, I haven't seen any of the movies.
Right, which is what you did today was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Fantastic
Oh,
Beasts and
wow.
Where to Find Them 3 Secrets of Dumbledore. Now, look, I've not seen any of them. And last year, a third one came out, and I noticed an ad for it, and I was like, there are 3 of these fucking things? Like,
It is a wild thing.
I have never met someone who talked about the first one, who
Yeah.
enjoyed the first one.
I have seen the first 2 Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Crimes of Grindelwald.
That's the second one.
Yes.
I thought there were like 6. I feel like every 2 years there's a Fantastic
No.
Beasts movie and How to Train Your
Sometimes
Dragon.
this stuff won't go away.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, it's like someone decided there will be a tentpole movie, and it will be a franchise people like Harry Potter, and someone goes, well, the first one didn't sell very well, and no one liked it. There will be a second one.
Double down. Yep.
Yeah, like no one asks whether people liked it. I mean, sometimes maybe it did well. I don't know. But
well,
like,
the thing, I don't know. Both of you are more accomplished writers than me. J.K. Rowling wrote all of the Harry Potter books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to preface everything with talking about J.K. Rowling with like the caveat of like her like turf insanity on the internet isn't something any of us agree with.
I don't get into that in my script.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Very nice.
her as a human being doesn't seem like someone any of us want to spend any time with. But we'll just talk about her like she's just the person who made these things. She wrote all the books. She did not write the movies.
Right.
The screenplays were written by screenwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She did write the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, that's
a
interesting.
screenplay.
Okay.
And so I believe she wrote all of them. And I will say this about the first two that I saw. They felt like a screenplay written by someone who wrote the book, but the books don't exist in that capacity.
No, the books are the way I understand it, and again, I haven't. The book is like more like it's a field guide to magical creatures
Sort
in
of
the
like
Harry
how
Potter world.
sort of like how the Lord of the Rings has addendums and
Right.
like weird little caveat things that go along with it. This feels similar to, even though The Hobbit is a great book, this feels similar to making The Hobbit into three movies
three
out of an
movies.
85-page novella.
Yeah.
Except this is like a 40-page cartoonish field guide that they built a whole world around, which is probably a funny field guide because they're like, here's funny animals in Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
Right.
Fantastic Beasts.
It's just it just doesn't feel like a great idea. And
So
it's just trying to squeeze more juice out of the Harry
That
Potter.
is exactly what I think that they saw what was happening with the MCU, where everyone made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Versus like the Harry Potter movies making $1 billion was the biggest deal in the entire world when it happened.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
nothing has ever touched this.
Yeah.
It's like the quality of Lord of the Rings and the money of Titanic.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And then that kind of Harry Potter cut off.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
didn't remain like Star Wars and like MCU stuff did. And so I think that, and Warner Brothers has it.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers is like, fuck. We have to do something.
I'll say something that's going to make me unlikable too.
Fun. I usually do that on
love
here. That's
J.K.
great.
Rowling as a person. No.
She's right.
I didn't even know she was an author.
No, I don't. I don't. Agree
We don't
with
like
her
to cut that
stance. But what I will say is, I do not like adult Harry Potter fans.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, that seems weird.
They
Yeah.
are really. I get sad when I think about them. Like,
Sure.
college students playing Quidditch.
I don't know. This is such a
That's
Slytherin thing of you to
so-
say, Jared.
So fucking cringy to think of an adult. People have Harry Potter fucking weddings.
Yeah.
Like that, that's a marriage that is 1000% ending in divorce. Like,
Imagine having to decide who gets the scarf.
Yeah.
The sorting hat presides over the divorce. You shall get the children.
That is a pretty.
The boys will go to you.
I like Max Silvestri on his wedding cake had the two white albino dreadlock guys from The Matrix.
From The Matrix
Yeah.
Reloaded?
Which, like, that's what you're gonna do a movie wedding thing.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it.
Your
Right.
movie wedding is The Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah,
great.
Just the albino twins.
Oh man! So he's like giving his vows, and he's like, "We all agree that the video game is canon."
Yeah. I love that.
That
Pretty
is great.
good.
I agree, though. I think Disney adults, Harry Potter adults, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot because
It's just like something's missing. Like there's so much stuff out there. And this is where you're putting like all of this emotional energy.
Yeah.
It feels really sad.
I think Harry Potter adults are like the live, laugh, love font of nerd adults.
Yeah.
Touche.
Because they feel like they're like Disney adults are cringe, and you're like, I don't know, you like picked a home you had. You know what I mean? You're like, you're this is astrology.
Yeah.
Except without the lore, it's like it's a very, very weird thing. And now with everything happening, where the author is like not a good it's like even a very weird thing to still hang on to.
Yeah.
It's just like, do you read other books? Like there are other books. Like
If
I
you like-
respect someone who doesn't read it all more than I respect someone who reads the Harry Potter books over and over.
I would say
and
that's a
I
big
enjoyed
red
them.
flag.
I think they're very good.
Yeah.
Oh, they were fun to read. I read them all when
Yeah.
I was a kid. It was very much in our time and age to be
Yeah.
very into it. And I like the movies. And I like all of the movies. I think that they got very lucky that all the kids became hot and good at acting.
Yeah. Well, except for Rupert Grint.
Right. He just became pretty good at acting.
So Rupert Grint.
well, he's a character actor.
I used to, is it okay to repeat bits on Never Seen It?
Yeah.
Repeat bits. So I
From
used to
previous
do,
episodes?
Is it okay to... we have a bingo board for this show that people follow along
Yeah.
because there's so many things I repeat.
I used to do a bit about Rupert Grint, which is that's the most British person that's ever existed.
It's pretty good.
Rupert Grint.
That is like a creative player.
His
like
name is so British, he sounds like a Lost Beatles song. Like, Rupert Grint was eating lint, and everything's gonna be all right. Like, it's just so British.
It really is. He can't escape it.
No.
Could you imagine if he tried to escape it by like dyeing his hair? He would.
Like went blonde or something?
Yeah, the world
Mohawk?
he would end. Like he would never be able to He has to just.
No, he
I don't-
is who he is.
But I love Swiss Army Man.
I haven't
yeah.
seen
That's a
that.
fun movie that
Yeah,
they did
it's
together.
great.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you want to rewrite that real quick?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic
Is
Beasts
a
3: Secrets of Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore. This is the third in a trilogy. But here's all the stuff that goes into this. I don't want to address it. Actually, we can talk about it afterwards because I don't know if I don't want to address anything that might come up in the script or
Okay.
anything.
Well, you can. I mean, I don't think
spoilers.
it's gonna come up.
Okay, so the first movie happens, and it's I forget the guy who's the star of these movies.
Harry Potter?
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, who the star of these Fantastic Beasts, because the Fantastic Beasts happened before Harry Potter.
Oh,
in the
prequel.
timeline.
Very cool. Very cool.
Prequel. That's when you etch stuff into stone
Oh, yes.
before you can write.
Yes.
That's the prequel era. So these happened before then. The first one is like the massive problem that I had is like in the first one, it's not really about the beasts or where to find them at all.
Oh, you're just getting set
In
up on
any
a journey.
capacity. They're just like this guy. Basically, he's like a zoologist for Harry Potter World, which is so fucking interesting.
Yeah.
That is
That
interesting.
is
he's
a
like-
great idea.
And then he's
Yeah.
like, look at this animal. Oh my God, I'm caught up in basically the same giant war that goes into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like he's immediately like derailed.
Interesting.
And you're like, but what about the
They don't do the interesting, unique
he
thing.
has like one unique like tree like walking stick that like follows him around. And
But
that's it. And
but
then it has nothing to do with the beast
But they're
for
not
2 movies.
finding the for 2 movies?
I didn't see the third one.
I haven't seen any of them, but I bet it does this thing that the Pirates of the Caribbean does, where
Yes.
it in like the sequels, like a character will walk in and you're like, I don't remember this character, but then everybody will be like, it's Admiral Dinkins.
Yes.
He's back, and you're
Yes.
like, I don't know who that is, and I saw the last one.
It is like the Pirates of the Caribbean where you're like, the scope, you didn't need to take on all of the lore immediately.
Yeah.
Because what's
Yeah.
great about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is it doesn't talk about the people we all know from our Davy Jones
Sure.
and the locker and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to become the biggest scope. It's like about this guy and his boat and this thing
Well, that's
we don't
the
understand.
nerd thing now is just to do all this world building
Yeah.
instead of like, I don't know, writing an interesting story.
And then it felt like she was like, I don't know if J.K. Rowling, at this point I call her J.K. LOL. Can you believe she said that, Rowling?
Yeah. Oh.
Rafflecopter Rowling.
JK with an ER in the middle, which makes her a jerk.
I said Joker is how I spelled that, and I'm so dumb. I was like, the ER's at the end. I think that it also felt a little bit like the Marvel stuff I don't like, where they're just cramming references in.
Yeah.
Where
That's
like,
not
so this
fun.
first one comes out, and then everyone's like, are they going to admit Dumbledore's gay? Are they going to have him be in a romance with this guy? And then in the second movie, Johnny Depp is a villain, and he's Grindelwald, who I
Wait,
think
in Fantastic Beasts or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Fantastic Beasts 2,
Interesting.
Johnny Depp plays Grindelwald.
Okay.
And there's all this lore about who Grindelwald is from all the Harry Potter stuff ever. So he has to like live up to being like this massive villain that they've never elaborated on. Do you know what I mean?
And also, you kind of need like to remember that he's this massive villain, which I
because
don't remember.
the movies
I don't
bring it up at all. Because
Weird.
they ignored it in the movies because it's pointless.
But they just like show it to you like it's him, and you're like, who is that?
It's like basically they're introducing earlier Voldemort, like that level of a villain, and then Johnny Depp, gets kicked out of the series for everything going on off screen about Johnny Depp.
There's a lot going on.
And
But we're still not finding Fantastic Beasts at this point.
the beasts
Not important. Not important.
There's
to the
literally a
story.
time where they leave the area where the beasts are and never return. It's like if in Jurassic Park if they ended up on the space station.
Can I just say something also though on an earlier point you made? Just throwing in references for people to recognize is like how you make dumb people feel smart,
Yes,
or like
Where
how you
they're
make
in on the joke.
dumb people feel like they are nerds. Like when everybody became a nerd, including dumb people, like that's
Right.
what they started doing.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's why. And then when that doesn't happen in Marvel now, everyone gets upset.
Yeah.
Like when Marvel's like, we're gonna try a new thing, everyone's like, well, I built this up in my head.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting is that like the olive branch from like nerds to dumb people is that it's references, but then like the opposite of that, like the olive branch from like jocks and dumb people, and I'm more of a sports guy than a nerd guy, so I'm in that camp. To like to nerds is like memes and like stats and stuff.
Sabermetric memes.
Yeah, well, it's just like the idea that
yeah.
like that's a thing that extends beyond sports, but it's so interesting that like that is welcomed and celebrated by like sports people. It's not like where nerds are like, get your jock ass out of here with your references and
I
your
think
dumb.
all anyone wants is for stuff to line up so their brain feels okay for a minute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
We want that dopamine.
Yeah, and we just and so then it becomes wedging things in.
Yeah.
And in the second one, and then also there's this thing where like Harry Potter hasn't been around for like 6 years, so everyone's got to like talk about it on the internet, and they're like, "Why didn't Harry Potter stop 9/11?" Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people be like, "How come you're telling me all of Harry Potter happened and no one like referenced the Bulls like going on a good run?"
Yeah.
Wait,
Like,
it takes place during the 90s?
I think it's like
It takes place during the Bulls' incredible
six
title
title
six
runs.
titles, yeah.
And no one brings it up, and no one brings up like Manchester United like really killing it, or even soccer in general.
Is this a joke? I thought Harry Potter was like in the old days, like Lord of the Rings. Like
No, Harry Potter is a
it's
modern
in the 90s,
fantasy. It's
and they do not address the Bulls.
90s, early 2000s.
Not only do they not address the Bulls, but like anything that happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
What?
So then
They don't talk about Bill Clinton at all.
Is
No.
it a different world? Is that why it's like a different?
Well, they go
Timeline?
to
Line or
It's our world, but they are more involved in the wizard culture than they
that
are in
makes sense.
Muggle
That makes
culture.
sense. Yeah,
Right.
we're not going to go to. The
they
Bulls
do
game if we
transport to somewhere else.
They do talk like about like the prime minister of wizards and witches.
Right. But they never at no point are they bringing up like the Gulf War.
Yeah.
And then in the second, so then people spend a lot of time. They're like, did these guys not stop the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Because this is a thing that comes up on the internet a lot. Well, in the second, am I stepping on this at all?
No, not
Okay.
at all. Wow, I think it's horrifying that you were like, is the Holocaust in your script?
Right.
It
because
comes up more than you think. I feel like I feel like half of the ones I.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
you didn't see that Bruce Springsteen. He goes by the Holocaust to being the boss.
Yeah.
So in the second, in the Crimes of Grindelwald, Grindelwald is one of these like he's kind of like basically a Nazi, right? Where
Sure,
it's a little bit like
Death Eater.
right? A little bit like Voldemort is, where he's like, you should be pure wizard
The
blood,
Nazi
right?
wizards are called Death Eaters.
Oh yes,
the
I
ones
know
who-
that. My sister's a
okay.
big Harry Potter.
The ones who
fan.
you
I know
can't
some
see,
of
those are the Nazi wizards, but these are the Nazi ones.
That was yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm just left a gap to add the Price is Right horn in post. So Grindelwald is like has this big council where he's trying to like convince everyone why they should follow him. You know what I mean? A big speech, and it's Johnny Depp. He's very pale and cartoonish. And at some point, he's like, "Look what happens when we don't interfere." Like they have to justify why they didn't stop the Holocaust.
That's wild.
And so he's like, "Look what's happening when we don't interfere. Look what the humans do, left to their own accord. All they do is kill each other." Basically, he's saying we should take over the world, right?
Yeah,
We should stop hiding and take. And then to
right.
show everyone, instead of using a projector or like a video,
Yeah.
which they use in everything else because they exist,
Right.
he takes a big bong rip out of a skull hookah.
Wait, this is in Fantastic
This is in
Beasts?
the Crimes of Grindelwald #2. He takes a big bong rip out of a skull hookah, which is the literal way of putting it. This is what it is. It's a skull hookah, and he vapes the smoke everywhere, and in the smoke they show the Holocaust.
They do not show the Holocaust. They show the actual Holocaust.
They show like the World War II happening.
Okay.
And
A
he's
smoke-
like, look
a
what
smoke
they
version of
do when it's happening. Look, without us. And everyone's like, no one is like, you could have just explained it. Or like,
told us,
we also have TVs.
show
Like
us a
they all
picture.
know about it.
Yeah.
And then so he justifies that with this big giant like
I
Holocaust
feel like
bong
that's
rip.
another thing that we do in prequels is like try to explain everything. Like,
Yeah, like
here's why they didn't stop 9/11, and it's kind of like, I don't know, guys. I don't really need you to.
you could have just been like they were surprised by it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the kids. Yeah,
We didn't stop it.
None of us did. Every person who exists.
Mark
didn't
Wahlberg
stop
couldn't
9/11,
stop it, and
so
Harry
it's like, we
Potter's
don't need that
supposed
part
to?
of our
Yeah,
chapter.
like,
of
I
lives.
kind of came to have fun at a Harry Potter movie with my kids.
Right, and like where are the
Yeah, why am I?
beasts?
Yeah.
The true beast lies
It was
within us. I was hoping-
fantastic. The greatest fantastic beast was Adolf Hitler.
right, exactly. And so that's like his whole. We should take over because the humans can't be left to the. It's sort of the reason that AI like take over the world in the
Skynet,
Matrix.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where
Straight
like
up.
humans will just put in like a very morbid. Maybe we could have just. This guy could have been a zoologist.
That's
Right.
what you sign up for. I can't get over the fact that there aren't any
So
fantastic
I
beasts
can't
and finding
fathom.
them. In
And
those
then the
two.
third one, I can't fathom what happens because it catches up to some of the world of Harry Potter.
Oh wow.
It
There's
does.
overlap with
Okay,
Dumbledore.
now that's
let's
good
do the
because
script.
that is what my script does a little bit.
Nice.
Now, can I ask a couple? Can I just do a couple preambles?
I would love this.
First of all, a question: do these scripts have to be good?
No,
Okay, good, because this might be the laziest idea.
sure. I've had a
ever
less
had.
than
I'm
one-page
excited.
script before.
Okay, that might be the only preamble. I just want you to know that I didn't work very hard on it.
We, the writer, in order to ensure a more perfect document.
Yeah.
That's the preamble.
Okay,
good.
great. Here, take a copy.
I have a question. Is there any Yoda or Golem situations I need to know
There
about?
are the Andy Circus does not factor in at all.
No talking backwards.
Does he not have a podcast called The Andy's Circus yet, where he
Andy's
does all of his
Circus?
characters?
That would be great.
Are there
trademark-
fantastic beasts in this?
Buy that website, Aristotle. Thank you.
Golem cuts to break.
That's what I thought Yoda was. That's so fun, right? That character's
we should cut.
This is my precious Casper mattress.
Yeah.
All right. So I should give out parts,
Yeah,
right?
you can do the wall-to-wall here, all the stage directions.
I'll do the stage directions. Why don't we have who has a more feminine energy? Kyle, you be Renee.
You didn't even have to preface anything.
Yeah.
You could have just casted Renee.
Todd, you be Dylan.
Fantastic.
Okay. I will also read Dumbledore. Okay.
Writes the script, casts himself as Dumbledore.
Yeah. Well, that's my prerogative. And
Big
then
time move.
there is one more character, Newt Salamander. And I guess who wants to play Newt?
Are we sure that's not a Yoda Gollum? That sounds like
It's-
we're getting into
Are
real
we sure
Yoda
that's not a How to
territory.
Train Your Dragon?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I guess who wants to be Newt?
I don't care. I can be Newt and
you
have
be
a pretty
Newt.
different voice.
You can be Newt and you're also Renee, okay?
And Newt, you said, is like an Italian caricature?
Look at the text.
Okay.
Be
Okay.
sure that your
Respect the
interpretation.
text. I'm a real. Yeah. I'm a
Be
Be sure that your
constitutionalist.
interpretation
for
is in the text.
I'll look at a pizza the text.
They can't all be. I'll tell you this. Have fun with the fact that they're all British.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I notoriously am bad at that on the show.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. Interior: Gryffindor dormitory, Hogwarts School, 1984. We see rows of beds. Young witches and wizards are sleeping soundly in each bunk, but in one bunk, the sheets are moving up and down rhythmically. We zoom in closer, until we are underneath the moving sheet. We see Dylan Potter, 18, handsome, devil-may-care attitude, thrusting and pumping with Renee McGarnagle, 18, girl next door but hot. It is the past, and Harry Potter's future parents are fucking. They are drenched in sweat, muscles flexed, going hard.
Are you sure we aren't going to get caught?
No chance. My silencio spell has made it so no one can hear us. Scream as loud as you want.
Ugh. Fuck me, mommy like.
Oh yes, ride me, bitch.
Renee stops mid-coitus. She climbs off of Dylan.
Did you just call me bitch?
Well, yes, dear. I was talking dirty.
Can you feel me getting into the accent as the lines go along? Okay.
Yeah.
I already forgot twice in the 2 lines that I had what accent I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay.
I might have made a mistake. Feel free to do your own accent.
No, you're
okay.
fine. Will you do the I was dirty talking line
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, dear. I was dirty talking.
No, nope. We're done here. Bye.
What? Come on, it's just dirty talk. That's just something people say when they're having sex.
People don't call each other bitch, you idiot. This was a mistake. We're never doing this again.
A shadowy silhouette falls upon the bedsheet. Oh, yes, you are, Renee McGonagall. The sheet is thrown back. Renee and Dylan are exposed. Standing over the bed is a person that they both instantly recognize. The world depends on it.
Dumbledore!
Dumbledore, age 23, young and hot because it is the past, steps into the light. Yes, it's me. Hello, my friends.
But how did you know we were here? My Silencio spell should have made our boning undetectable.
I cast a Voyerato spell that allows me to watch you. Always, even in your most private moments. I even watch when you go to the bathroom.
Even when we sleep?
Always.
But why?
Because it's my job to save the future. Come with me. We have to get the two of you in the mood again so we can make a very important baby. Dumbledore swishes his robes, then swings his staff and shatters the dormitory window. Shards of glass fly everywhere. Dumbledore jumps out of the window into the pouring rain and leaps off the roof of the school.
Jesus!
Renee and Dylan look around them. They are naked without a sheet to cover them, and everyone in the dormitory is now awake and staring at them. Exterior, 1980s New York City, night. Dumbledore, Dylan, and Renee walk past breakdancing kids and people in Michael Jackson Thriller jackets. Homeless people are huddled around trash can fires. There is graffiti everywhere because this is before heroic Mayor Rudy Giuliani cleaned it up.
Where are you taking us?
To meet a friend.
Look, it doesn't matter what you do to try to convince me, Dumbledore. I'm never having sex with Dylan again.
If that is true, then the world of wizardry will fall to the Death Eaters.
Nice try, but I think you just want to watch us do it. You're a freak.
I assure you, Renee, my sole interest is in getting you pregnant.
Ugh, then that's way worse. Maybe it's better if we go our separate ways. Bye. See you never.
You don't have to go anywhere, Renee. They expelled us from Hogwarts. We have to make a living doing magic in the streets now.
A sailor walks up to Dylan and puts his arm around him. Dylan takes the sailor's hand and walks with him into a nearby alleyway out of sight.
Ejaculatus!
There is a flash of light and a satisfied moan. Dylan comes back out onto the street holding a crisp $20 bill. Dumbledore and Renee stare at Dylan.
Don't judge me! I'm surviving out here!
Suddenly, a fancy man in a bright blue double-breasted suit and a fedora with a feather in it waves to them from a doorway. Ah, there's my friend. Renee, Dylan, I'd like for you to meet Newt Salamander. Newt, late 20s, looks like Eddie Redmayne because he is played by him. Bows deeply and doffs his fedora.
My lady, my friend, welcome to the city that never sleeps. There are many fantastic beasts here, if you know where to find them. Uh-oh, another weird pervert.
Hold on, Renee. He only talks this way because he's a wizard.
I'm also into group sex stuff. I told you.
Now, Renee, you mustn't kink shame. Let's go with Newt. He'll show you things that may change your mind about the swinging lifestyle. Newt opens the door to the building and they all walk in. Pan up to the sign above the door which reads Plato's Retreat.
Hell yeah.
Interior, Plato's Retreat, night. Dumbledore, Newt, Renee, and Dylan walk through the dark club, past rooms where various orgies are going on. People are tangled up in various states of undress, licking and sucking.
You expect us to get turned on by all of this? No! This is the section for normal humans. But this...
He pulls back a curtain and ushers them through. They enter a section of the club where a couple is having sex on a broom flying high up near the ceiling. Another group are shaking a tiny fairy creature onto a mirror and then snorting the pixie dust that falls out of her. In another corner, a man is being fucked by a yeti.
This is where the wizards and witches get turned out.
Renee looks at Newt. Dylan looks at Dumbledore. Dumbledore looks at Renee, then at Newt. Newt looks at Dumbledore. Dumbledore looks at Dylan. There is a tension in the air. Cut to weird sex montage. A naked Dumbledore thrusts himself doggy style into a house elf. Newt Salamander, mostly naked in a leather harness, is flogged by a pair of Dementors. Dylan does a line of fairy dust off a mirror, then turns and sprinkles some of it onto a guy's asshole. Renee does shots with Johnny Depp, then stumbles with him to a dark booth in the back where they begin making out. Newt has sex with Dumbledore. Dylan has sex with Newt. Renee has sex with Johnny Depp. Dylan and Dumbledore have sex with Johnny Depp. Renee, Newt, the house elf, Dumbledore, and a witch we've never seen before have sex with a Dementor. Renee has sex with Dylan while everyone watches. Interior. Plato's Retreat VIP Wizards section much later. Everyone lays in an exhausted pile naked. Newt lights a cigarette and offers one to the others.
Wow, that was incredible. It felt good to let loose.
The important thing is you had sex with Dylan to completion.
I did. I'll be honest, I don't remember. Everything after the centaur is a blur.
Yes, but now you have been implanted with the seed that will become the greatest wizard the world has ever known.
Don't say implanted with the seed. God, you guys suck at dirty talk.
Johnny Depp stumbles in drunk. I'll play him. You guys want to watch me play guitar?
No.
I know, I'm okay.
No, we're good.
Johnny Depp collapses into some cushions, passed out.
Dumbledore, how do you know that our child will become a great wizard? Did Professor Trelawney help you see into the future?
No, actually. We've known for millennia that your progeny would be the chosen one. The truth is that Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry exists solely for one secret purpose: to breed an uber wizard that can unlock the genetic memory of all past witches and wizards within his family line. For 10,000 years, this breeding program has been in place, and the Order of the Phoenix believes that we have reached the culmination of our Messiah program by breeding a female McGonagall with a male from House Potter. The resulting offspring will have undreamed of power and act as a catalyst, ushering in a new golden age for wizard and witch kind. Everyone sits in silence, taking that in.
Cool.
Long pause.
Has anyone seen my trousers? I'm going to go get coffee.
Dylan looks for his pants.
Coffee? Anyone? Newt? You want a coffee?
End Act 1.
Can we get Act 2 and Act 3? I've never seen Harry Potter or any of these, but I am in on that movie.
Let me get to work.
I can't imagine a movie with this little backstory would need 3 parts.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
I did the best thing you can do with Harry Potter characters, which is sexualize them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're all doing it anyways.
It's all they're good for because they're a bunch of dirty little sluts.
I don't know what happens to the third part. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dumbledore is in it because his name's in the title.
Well, it ends with the birth of Harry Potter.
So someone has to bone down.
Yeah.
It has to happen. Unless they do like a magic stork
The thing
thing.
about anything fictional ever now is you need to know what happened every moment in the entire history of
Exactly.
it. Otherwise, what is there to why does it exist?
Yeah.
Everything needs to be connected completely or nothing is good.
Yeah, and that's so enjoyable to have every single, unknown and mystery within
Right.
something stamped out
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
and diagrammed.
Otherwise,
for
I would have something to talk about.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Some imagination, something to think about.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
no audience imagination. Leave none.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
love that there aren't Fantastic Beasts or how to find them in the first two. I feel like movies should be what they're about.
Well,
like
you know what you
they're named.
can't charge $10 for is my imagination.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
true.
true.
That's
If you could
true.
somehow imagine J.K. Rowling finds a way to charge you to think about Harry Potter. It's 30 cents to think about Harry Potter. Well, I guess she's about to because the video game's coming out, like a MMORPG of Hogwarts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So those adult Harry Potter fans can just kind of
Yeah, they can really get into it.
live in their living room with pizza boxes.
they won't even do the adventures. They will just
their
sort
child
of go to
starving
class.
in a back room.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that's what they would do in the game. Was just have pizza boxes around their dorm. But I could see that being what they do. They're like, today I'm gonna go to potions.
Yeah.
And then they sit real time through a 1-hour class.
Oh,
play
yeah.
play the potions mini game. Yeah.
Yeah, where you
Yeah.
build a potion.
Yeah.
And then they'll just be like, huh. And I don't know how to cook. Like in
Yeah.
real life, and like, well, it's a lot like potions.
Yeah, you could've
except
done a
your
cooking
family
class.
needs it.
Yeah. Feel bad for them.
They'll be fine. Have you been to the Harry Potter world at Universal?
No. I mean, no. Harry
neither.
Potter just not something that really interests me all that much anymore.
You mean since
I like
you got
the
your
books. I
driver's
like the
license?
books.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually, I think I read the last one when I was like 23.
yeah. I think I read them all when they came out, so that's probably I drove to get it, so I was probably like 17
Yeah.
when it came out. But you still read it, and
Once
they
you're
were
invested,
long,
yeah,
and that was
you
nice.
gotta finish it.
You know the thing I always thought was bizarre, even at the time. Well, there were a lot of things that I thought was bizarre about Harry Potter at the time that no one thought was bizarre. One, the goblins.
The house elves.
No, the goblins just being
the goblins
Jewish people,
in the
just
bank.
being Jewish
Yeah,
caricature.
the
people
bank
who
is
run the
run by
banks are tiny
goblins.
little goblins who love money.
Yeah.
And even when the movie came
Oh,
out,
like
everyone's
Golem.
like,
My precious, right?
Not really.
She
You're getting
kind of,
closer in shape, but it's not exactly that.
Well, I mean, like, look, if we're gonna talk about the problems with fantasy and racism, we can do that because, like, why are all the orcs in the Lord of the Rings evil?
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, yeah, and then if you get a Dungeon Master's Monster Manual, Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual, and you look at the entry on orcs, it's like they have sloped foreheads.
Yeah.
And it sounds like an 1880s like description of other races.
Right.
Wait,
well,
does
they could have.
anybody-
It's because their skulls are shaped differently, is why they can jump so high. Those
Different.
orcs.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's what it
exactly
feels
the same
like.
Thing.
Right.
And then something I always loved that JK, not love, but I think it's insane that JK, the characters that aren't just straight British are like that one Asian girl's named Cho Chang. And the one Irish boy's named like Seamus McFinnigan, and like
Right.
they
Central
all have
casting of
Victor
names.
Crumb is the
Yes.
Russian guy.
Well, it's like the X-Men where everyone has a different ethnicity and then has like a,
Well, there's them, and then all of the other ethnicities are represented by one person,
yeah.
and they all have these Cho
pretty
Chang.
funny.
I laughed when I
That's
like
a
the
joke.
You're like, really?
The Russian guy in the X-Men, his name is Colossus, and his real name is Peter Rasputin. So they were like, what's a Russian name? What's a Russian name?
People didn't know this, but the one black kid in Harry Potter, his name is Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they don't bring it
I
up.
was gonna say it's
Michael
maybe
B.
that's the next
Jordan,
one.
because Michael Jordan was already taken from Space Jam,
Right.
which is an incredible thing that Michael B. Jordan had to do in real life.
Yeah.
In SAG.
I
It's
can
so
only
funny
imagine.
that he's like, I'm going to have to add my middle initial just because
of Space Jam.
Yeah.
I had a joke that talked about him one time where I was like, the same thing happened with William H. Macy. His real name is Dikembe Mutombo,
Yeah.
so he had to adjust it,
Yeah.
which isn't true.
Dikembe Mutombo, what movie is he in?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
He
movies.
did. He did punch-ups for Kumail's first movie.
Yeah.
He did punch-ups for
The Big
I,
Sick.
I remember
The Big Sick.
I remember the part of Pretty Woman where Julia Roberts walks by and Dikembe Mutombo is like, "What?"
Hey now, yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo did punch-ups for The Social Network. He's who invented blocking.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good point. I like that. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
He did the finger wag in A Few Good Men.
You know what? I really love Dikembe Mutombo in Lorenzo's Oil. That's
Wait, you know what's weird? There was a moment where we were giving like prominent NBA centers movies, like George Mirasan
Yeah.
with the Billy Crystal one. There's Manute Bol. And
I'm
Air
actually
Up There,
surprised that the
but Mutombo
one
didn't get one.
black kid in Harry Potter wasn't named Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah.
Just from how J.K. Rowling went through her naming of things.
yeah.
All right, we got to play a game here and get out of here. And get out of Never Seen It Forever. Hold on, my soundboard isn't
Final episode. I'm in the
untested.
final episode.
That's pretty exciting.
There have been about
Yeah.
40 straight guests who were really close to being in the final episode. There have been a lot of. This feels like watching Lost,
Yeah.
where the story could wrap up in 9 minutes for the last 3 seasons. And then once it finally wraps up, people will be like, oh.
Oh, that wasn't very.
They kind of just. So nothing with the hatch?
Not what I thought they were gonna do. Yeah.
The hatch is going to be my dad game. All right, here we
I
go.
like
This
it.
game we're going to play
Get ready to play before and afters.
is called Before and Afters. How this game works is 2 movies have been smashed together into one movie. I will read you the smashed together plots. You have to tell me the smashed together title. Does that make sense? So, for instance,
Okay.
some smashed together titles could be The Wolf of Wall Street, Fargo, which is Fargo and Argo,
Right.
Saving Private Silverman, Ocean's 12 Angry Men.
Okay, got it.
A lot of them are portmanteaus, a lot of them aren't.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I'll read you the
Yeah, it sounds hard. It sounds
it is a little
hard.
difficult. I just sort of look on Google and smash the plots together into one.
Okay.
Right?
There was a while where we were doing like Discord, and what was the app that paid us like $100 a week? Remember that thing?
Oh, the radio
Oh, yeah.
thing.
There was a-
Stereo.
Stereo.
We would play these on
great,
stereo.
Great name for an app because you can't confuse it with like anything else.
Yeah,
Stereo.
it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
not a
it's definitely
common
the
noun
only
people
thing.
know.
Yeah.
This is my app headphone.
Yeah.
What do you listen to that on? Stereo.
On
No, I
stereo.
mean what app?
This is my app website.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll like
We
it.
do this online. My
Online.
app is called Line.
Online.
Yeah.
And then we were playing these on stereo
And I feel
for
like
a
the
while.
audience were doing them, and they were really good.
Well,
Like
they're really
they,
good
they
for
were
this.
coming with really hard ones. They were like
Yeah.
just nailing them.
Now, is this correct or incorrect? I can get this wrong.
I guess.
Okay.
But if you
Usually
get
it's
it
the
wrong,
first
you're
person to
probably
get it
just
right.
write differently.
Yeah.
Touche.
All right.
Touche.
I'm ready. Hold on.
I had to drink some water out of my blonde medicine.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Blonde Medicine Water Jug, Blonde Medicine independent comedy label. Go check out Happiness, Kyle Ayer's album, out everywhere now and for the past few years.
I was gonna do the Whopper song, but now I don't want to ruin that. That was a nice.
Yeah.
Good spot. That was tight.
Here we go. Before and afters. I want to give a shout out because these were actually the titles were developed by some members of the Discord for this podcast.
So this is gonna be really hard.
This is
gonna be impossible.
I wrote the plots.
Okay, nice.
I tried to make these are so Wraithlock, Eternal, Hondana, Banana, and Moist.
Okay, that what?
Those are the
Oh,
usernames.
Moist
of
is
the
not
show.
before,
Thank
right?
God. I thought that was the first question.
That was
luck
actually the
with
crime.
that.
That was the
Yeah.
crimes of Gwindel.
That was
I can't think of any for the crimes of Grindelwald. That would be a before and after. I can't come up with any.
No, it's okay.
Here we go. Number 1. But thank you to them for coming up with these titles. Number 1. A group travel to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown for a festival that turns increasingly violent as a fleet of alien spacecraft descend on Earth and annihilate Congress.
Okay.
Wait.
That's Independence Day plus Midsommar.
I think it's Mars Attacks or
Midsommar's Attack.
there it is.
Midsommar's Attacks.
Midsommar's Attacks.
There it is.
Yeah. I like when we have to work together. It's supposed to be a competition, but very frequently.
No,
when I'm
I
on
wouldn't
here,
have gotten Mars Attacks.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have put
Midsommar's
together.
Attacks.
Yeah.
Here we go. Number dose. After being defaced, a 1958 Plymouth Fury restores itself and starts killing a bully and his friends while its owner learns that lycanthropic traits run in his family.
Christine Wolf.
Christine
Nicely
Wolf.
done. Nicely done. That was
It's hard
good.
to not say werewolf.
I'm a bit of a horror buff.
I
I thought that was a line from Teen Wolf.
I did not think there was going to be a Christine reference at any
Yeah.
point today. That was impressive.
Yeah. All right, next one. The events depicted in this film took place in a fast food restaurant in 1997. At the request of the survivors, the burger recipe has been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest has been told exactly as it occurred. Home of the occurrence, may they take your order.
It's Good Burger and something else though. It's
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Or is it Fargo? Fargood Burger.
Fargo
Good Burger. Nicely done. Nicely
Texas
done.
Chainsaw has a similar.
It does. I was just gonna say, you know what's funny? That is like a good trivia question of like those are like the two movies that really hammer that in.
Yeah.
That's
Like
really
to the
good.
point where it is a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one. I believed the Fargo one when I first saw one.
Oh, I did too.
I
believed it
I
for.
lived in
Man, I
Minnesota and I
I
believed it.
feel like I
yeah.
would have heard about this.
I believed
Yeah.
it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, and the show happened?
Yeah.
They knew about this briefcase?
Wow. That part of Minnesota is very
I
dangerous.
feel like they would have released this elevator footage. All right, next one. I've used that one. In this sequel, an ex-police officer gets involved in street racing in a new city, taking a young drag queen novice under his wing as they set off for a national competition.
Tu Wong Fu. It's something with Tu Wong Fu. Is that Tokyo Drifting?
Too Fast, Too Wong Fu.
Boom!
Too fast.
Thanks
too
for everything,
long,
Julie
Fu.
Newmar.
Thank you for everything, Julie Newmar.
Yep.
Fantastic.
This is in the Venn diagram of what you both seen doesn't touch, but you guys have each seen one movie from every one
We're
of
like the
these.
Wonder Twins.
That's really good.
Our powers combined.
Okay, final one. I think that's 4, right? Yeah. A reprogrammed police force robot acquires the ability to hit a golf ball real far.
RoboCop and
Happy Gilmore.
Robo Tin Cup.
Wait, no. Robo.
Happy Gilmore. And
That's our
RoboCop.
final answer.
Yeah, it's
Robo.
Robo Tin Cup.
Thank you. Unplugs the mic, leaves the room.
Happy. That sounds like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, it is. Happy Gilmore.
Reprogrammed police force
But that sounds like
robot
Short Circuit.
acquires the
Oh.
ability.
Is it Short Circuit or is it
This is a very
No,
good
Short Circuit. He was a
combination.
military robot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This is a
Stolen.
very good word combination. Was that Stolen Valor robot?
A police robot.
Because yeah, he's not a police robot. He is a police officer who becomes a robot.
That's RoboCop. Yeah.
So it's not RoboCop. It's not Short Circuit. Police robots are.
Can I hear it
A
one more
reprogrammed
time?
police
A
robot
reprogrammed police robot.
acquires the ability to hit a golf ball real far.
Tin Cup is about golf, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you're right. That is Happy Gilmore as far as the hitting it far thing. He doesn't hit it far in Tin Cup. It's more of a romantic comedy. It's a dad movie. It's definitely, I think, it's
It's not
Saturday afternoon.
Caddyshack because they would say more about Caddyshack. They would
Yeah,
say
nobody
more
really hits it
about
far.
Gopher
in
would
it
come
either.
up or
the
something.
Gopher. Yeah.
It's definitely Happy Gilmore. You nailed that.
Happy Gilmore.
Something with
Girls.
Yeah, Gilmore Happy. I'm trying to think of a reprogrammed robot cop. Robot cop. Wait a minute. Okay, you know what we got to be thinking about is like movies where the robot cop is just like who he is. It's not part of the plot. So like, what's that Will Smith one where he's like
iRobot.
iRobot, something like that, like Minority
A
Report.
reprogrammed police force robot
Police Force robot.
acquires the ability to hit a golf ball.
Reprogrammed. He's been reprogrammed.
What I love about iRobot is the original novel is from the point of view of the robot and how hard it is to be in this human world with these rules. And the movie's like, I gotta kill all these damn robots.
Every robot is bad, but one which is still a little bad.
Yeah.
I don't know this one.
We are looking for.
Wait, can we get a hint? Give us a hint.
There's not really any hints to give. We're looking for Chappie Gilmore.
Oh, God.
Chappie.
He is and I've seen Chappie. I'm one of the 8 people who saw Chappie.
Chappie Gilmore.
Chappie was fascinating to watch.
Chappie is not a real movie. Chappie was made up by Big
a
Pharma.
pun.
Hey, that's the whole plot of iRobot.
Yeah.
Chappie has a scene in it where Hugh Jackman holds his coworker at gunpoint and demands for him to do something, and then when the guy doesn't do it, he literally just goes, "I'm just kidding," and then backs away. So I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was fantastic.
Well,
it's really good.
That's a fantastic bot, and where to find them is Chappie Gilmore.
Yes.
I'm just glad Di Antwoord had a film career.
They needed it, right? They needed
Yeah.
it. They deserved it. They earned it.
Die
Ninja.
Antwoord sounds like someone yelling a slur and it getting censored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. My buddy used to have a joke about this, but it's just a true thing. You know the movie School Ties?
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser and
Right.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin. So it's about a young Jewish man who attends a private school and is bullied and really kind of persecuted for his Jewishness. And then at the very end, like, there's this moment where the bigot is being expelled, and he stops his car, and then he says, you may have won this time, but at the end of the day, I'm rich and you'll
always be a Jew.
A Jew.
Yep.
And then there is more of an epilogue where you see that actually it went really well for the Jewish kid, and it kind of tells you that. But when it was cut for TV,
Oh my God! Oh no!
and that was a famous. My friend Pat Bryce used to tell that joke about how that's
They just cut that second that ending out of the.
They
second
just
epilogue.
let it.
What do they
just,
call that?
They just left you with
denouement
and you'll
or
still be
whatever?
a Jew.
Yeah, it's so good.
Credits.
Whopper
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so fun. That's like, I
Oh.
always love like the ending of Tango and Cash is like after everything wraps up, it just freeze frames on a high five and then zooms out to that picture, front page news, headline, Tango and Cash, heroes again. It's like, in case you just like went into a fucking coma for the last 2 hours and you forgot what happened in the movie, it's all right here for you. You completed the movie, you know what happened.
It still feels like less explaining than making 3 movies to tell you about before when Harry Potter was
true.
born.
That is true.
It's because it could have just been a email.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, Jared, thank you for being here and having
My
never
pleasure.
seen Fantastic
Nice
Beasts and Where
hanging
to
out
Find
with
Them
you
Part
guys.
3. What's this one called?
Secrets of
Secrets of
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore.
There really aren't any because we made 3 movies.
Yeah, we've
and then
exposed all
9
the
other
secrets.
movies.
Yeah. Now all the secrets have been revealed.
He
And-
literally kept a secret for all of the Harry Potter movies,
Yeah.
even while he was dead. He didn't reveal the secret. That was the secret.
That he's gay?
Is that the secret in this movie?
I don't.
No, I
think
meant the
so.
secret. I don't think so either. I thought the secret in all of the Harry Potter was that he had this plan. Remember, and he didn't let Harry in on the plan the whole time, but him and Snape had the secret plan going on.
Oh, that's
right.
cool.
And then even to the point where Snape kills Dumbledore to keep the secret.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'll be honest. Secrets of Dumbledore might not even be the title. I really did. I did not
It's
even.
called the Boxcar Dumbledore.
I didn't Google it. I went from memory.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's actually Secretion of Dumbledore.
Oh, it definitely is.
And that's
It
one of the
definitely is.
Fantastic
Well,
Beasts.
that's
is
the
his
title
penis.
of mine for sure. The Secretions of Dumbledore.
Wait, I just put this together. They did find Fantastic Beasts in the Sex Club.
That's
That was
right.
beastly. that just clicked for me.
Yeah, there was some.
Todd, this
Well
part's
done.
going to be edited out.
That's some brilliant writing.
there
though.
was some fantastic bestiality,
Yeah. That was impressive.
and Dumbledore had some secrets in it.
This was
He
called
did.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Come.
Yeah.
That's great.
Jared, let everyone know where to find you and stuff you got going on. Things you got
Yeah.
there.
So let's see. I thought about this before I came in, and then of course my mind goes blank. If you like to watch actual plays, people playing role-playing games online, or listen to them, I'm on the Glass Cannon Network. That's a good place to check me out. I'm doing a podcast called Blood of the Wild, where we play through a campaign for Pathfinder RPG. And if you're ever in Los Angeles, every Wednesday at Bar Bandini, come and see my wife and I host an excellent comedy show called Better Half.
It's really great. It's
every
very fun.
Wednesday, Bar Bandini at Echo Park at 8 p.m. And that's it.
Great.
That was awesome.
Todd, you have anything you want to tell everybody about?
I'm going to go to all those things he just said.
Yep.
Great. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to submit before and afters or things like that, the Discord is basically a big message board where fans of the podcast hang out. There's a link to the Discord at fart.kyleayers.com. That'll link you there, or you can email me anything at info@neverseenitshow.com. And thank you guys so much.
I've never seen it.